setting up the live stream right now. Just want to make sure. Okay, looks like it is working. There is Adela. All right, welcome everyone. I think folks are still joining us. We'll wait a couple of minutes. And then we'll get started. $7:01, I think I'll get started. Okay, Happy New Year and good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Rovina Nimbalkar, and I'm the Executive Director at NAMI, Santa Clara County. And before we begin today's presentation, I just want to go over some of the NAMI Santa Clara County updates. Our helpline is up and running from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. by phone and by email, and also walk-in. The walk-in hours are 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Our after-hour family support is available on evenings and weekends. Our support groups are all listed on our website. Our website is namisantaclara.org and offered over Zoom as well as in person. So you can go look at our website and see what schedule works for you. And based on that, you can attend our support groups. For our educational classes such as family to family, family to familiar, persona to persona, peer-to-peer education class, provider class, you can contact our helpline number 408-453-0400, option 1 for further details. And you can put in your name in the interest list and somebody will get in touch with you soon. The NAMI Basics program is on demand and on our website, and you can take it at your own pace. And so is NAMI Homefront. It's on demand. You can take it at your own pace online. The FaithNet MH101, the next one is going to be, I believe, on the, I'm going to come back with that date actually. I think I kind of got it wrong, but let me just come back with that date again. I think it's going to be the 20th of March or February 20th, I believe, but I'll confirm that. And our community peer program continues to match by hospitals as well as self-referrals. So, you can check out our website and there's a form there if you're interested for self-referrals, or you can call us and get more information. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. So NAMI Santa Clara County is completing 50 years of supporting individuals and families in the community, Santa Clara County. And so it's a big celebration for us. And so you must have already seen an email went out today about an invitation for our 50th anniversary, which is going to take place on Thursday, April 10th. And there is information about tickets in that email. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to Christina. And I think her information must be in that email, or just respond to that email and we will respond to you if you have any questions. NAMI Walk Silicon Valley is going to be on Saturday, October 4th. We're going to send a save the date soon. We were wrapping up the walk and now it's almost time to prepare for the walk, but I do want you to all to save your date for October 4th. It's going to be at the same location, the History Park, and we're going to soon be sending out a lot of emails and information about it. Okay, so before our presentation today, I just want to mention about what we're going to do now. It's NAMI Santa Clara County every year presents the Community Merit Award, an honor that's given annually to individuals or an organization that have made significant impact on mental health in our community. And to mark this special occasion, I would like to invite Uday Kapoor, who is our president on the board, to officially announce and present the award for this year, that is for 2024. And we look forward to celebrating the incredible work that this year's honoree has made such a lasting impact in the community. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Uday, and take it from here.
Thank you, Ravina, and welcome, Supervisor Samitian. It is such a privilege to recognize an extraordinary public servant, Joe Samitian, who served in the government for more than 4 decades as a school board president, a councilman, a mayor, a county supervisor, a state assemblyman, and a senator. He last served as a Santa Clara County supervisor for 12 years, where he received a standing ovation for his leadership, vision, contributions, and kindness. And if I'd be surprised if people don't know about him or of him. He ran for Congress, and unfortunately, for loss for us, he didn't make it. But we are still going to depend on him for his leadership for many other years. Today, we are honoring him with NAMI Santa Clara County's 2024 Community Merit Award that Rovina just explained the significance of, for his strong legacy as an advocate for mental health causes. To name just a few, and this is just a few, his help with assisted outpatient treatment, also called AOT, realization of the vision of the first inpatient psychiatric facility for children and adolescents, for which I was privileged to be there when the ribbon was cut or the ground was dug. So it's so important for us. Expansion of the Trust Mobile Crisis Program, the Behavioral Health Navigator Program, and many more. He has always been a trusted friend and a partner of NAMI, for which we are truly grateful. And he has always been approachable and has been kind and generous of his attention. And I was privileged to meet him at the sidewalk meetings at the Saratoga Farmers Market. It was always a pleasure. Thank you, Joe, and congratulations.
Thank you, Uday. And let me just say briefly, while I'm traveling, I'm on a different time zone. I did want to be here with you to say thank you for the recognition, but more importantly, to say thank you to you and all of you at NAMI for the work you do. I have some sense of how hard the work is as someone who has partnered with you all in doing that work. And I also have some sense, I believe, of just how often you are inclined to ask, does it make any difference? Does anybody listen? Does anybody care? And what I can tell you to a certainty from my experience in 5 different levels of government now over the years is that if your voices are not raised, they will not be heard. Too many times I have confronted folks in the public arena who simply don't realize the nature and extent of the need. And you all are the voices that have to be heard in order to communicate the nature and extent of the need. Uday made passing reference to the new facility, more than 200,000 square feet, that should open up this year. Unfortunately, the year after I've left the Board of Supervisors, but more importantly, it will open. It will be there for kids and teens who previously haven't had a place like this. It happened very simply because at a community holiday party, somebody took me aside and said, why don't we have any beds for these kids? And I thought that can't be right. And then I went and did my homework and discovered it was absolutely right. And of course, it's absolutely wrong that we don't have those beds for the kids who need them. And I cite just that one example, that one anecdote, because that was the spark. Did it take 10 years? Yes. Is that too long? Absolutely. Did it require us to pull, scores and scores of people into the mix to get the job done? It did. But again, without that first voice, the conversation wouldn't have begun, and we wouldn't be on the brink now of having what I hope and expect will be a marvelous resource for kids who are really struggling in our county. So again, I know for many of you who are listening, participating, who are part of the NAMI effort, you have to wonder, does it make any difference? Does it matter? And I want to say thank you, because it absolutely does. Without your voices, the needs of this community will never be fully realized or understood. And so thank you. It means the world to me to be regarded as a partner in your good works. And I hope you understand, as I say, how important your good works are to making sure that people who are in positions of public responsibility understand the nature and extent of the need. Uday, that's really all I have to say tonight. It's both a thank you, but also an exhortation to keep doing the good work. Without it, and I know it's tiresome, but without it, the work just won't get done. So thank you again for all you do and all you will do, I hope, in the years ahead.
Thank you, Joe, and all the best to you, and let's stay connected and leverage each other's advocacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I want to go on to some business at NAMI. This is a new year, and we have a new slate of board officers. Every year, our board president, that's me, selects some board members to form a nominating committee tasked with putting together a slate of officers for the new year. So for now, we have a slate of board officers for 2025 to 2026. They are myself as president. Vice presidents are Beverly Lozoff, Juan Perez, Frank Aliotto, and Maureen Milo. Treasurer, who has just joined us, his name is Scott Welton, and the secretary is Peter Newman. We will have a general meeting next month, at which time the membership will vote on the slate. And so if you are interested in learning more or serving on our board of directors, please contact our vice president, Bev Lozoff. So with that, I will hand over to Rovina.
Thank you so much, Uday, and thank you so much, Supervisor Simitian. Thank you so much for all the work that you've done and supporting our community. Okay, so let's move on to our presenters for tonight. And thank you, Uday. Thank you so much for the slate of the board and also making the presentation. So tonight's general meeting will feature two signature NAMI programs, NAMI Peer-to-Peer and NAMI Family-to-Family. NAMI Peer-to-Peer is a free 9-week education program for individuals living with a mental health condition. And NAMI Family-to-Family is a free 9-week class for family members supporting a loved one with a mental health condition. You will hear from our program coordinators, Barbara Thompson from Peer-to-Peer and Adela Arce from Family-to-Family. And there will also other speakers who will be joining us and sharing more insight about the programs and their experience. And you'll learn how to enroll in these programs, find out what the curriculum covers and what to expect at these classes from participants who have taken them. And this is a great opportunity to talk with the class coordinators, find answers to your questions about NAMI education program. So I'm going to hand it over to Sarah Prabhu, who is a programs manager, who's first going to do the first half of the presentation along with Barbara Thompson, the coordinator for Peer-to-Peer, and Ethan. So over to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Rovina. Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah Prabhu, and I want to start with a quote that says, "Knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family." This is a quote by Kofi Annan. My name, like what Rovina introduced, my name is Sarah Prabhu. I'm the programs manager at NAMI Santa Clara County. I manage the helpline, website, peer education, support, and mentoring programs. So these are all the programs that NAMI offers to individuals living with mental health conditions. And all these programs, especially the class that we are going to talk about today, is taught by trained teachers who also live with a mental health diagnosis. When someone is diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis, it can be very overwhelming. You may wonder, what does this mean for my life? How do I manage this? Where do I go turn for help? In these moments, knowledge becomes more than just power. It becomes a lifeline. Getting educated about your diagnosis equips you to move forward and reclaim your life on your own terms. Today, we have Barbara Thompson, our peer-to-peer class coordinator here with us today, and she will tell us a little bit more about this class. Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
Hi, Barbara. Thanks for coming to this class. So I'm going to move the slides, and then I want to ask you some questions about the class, and thank you so much for coming here to answer the class. So the first obvious class question that everybody is having here is, what is peer-to-peer education program? Can you tell us a little bit more?
NAMI Peer-to-Peer is a 9-session recovery-focused course for adults with mental health conditions. It's free and confidential. It's held weekly for 2 hours. It's led by peers with mental health conditions and is a great resource for information on mental health and recovery. It offers respect, understanding, encouragement, and hope, and builds on the strength and resilience of its participants.
And what is the course outline?
I'll briefly cover what the course covers. On week 0, we have an In Our Own Voice presentation and a course introduction. And that is, the In Our Own Voice presentation is 2 speakers telling their stories of recovery. And then week 1 is Getting Started, and mental health and recovery, exploring different viewpoints of mental health and recovery, and creating a personal vision statement to help envision a fulfilling future to work towards. In week 2, we discussed the brain and the body, learning about the relationship between mental health and overall physical health. We understand the impact of the environment and the brain on mental health conditions, and we create SMART goals for wellness and self-care. In week 3, Telling My Story, everyone shares their personal stories, exploring the benefits and limitations of mental health diagnoses. In week 4, which is Strengthening Relationships, we build healthy connections with others and improve communication skills. In week 5, Growing Support Networks, we build a nurturing circle of support, and a family member is the guest speaker. Week 6 is Tools for Enhancing Recovery, responding to stress effectively, learning about different types of therapies and medications, and looking more closely at goals. In week 7, My Story and My Strengths, we understand the personal stories in a new, more positive way, preparing for conversations with mental health providers also. In week 8, called Moving Forward, we revisit personal visions and plan next steps.
That's great, Barbara. Thanks for really sharing about the course outline. I liked how we start with telling our story to each other and then finishing it off with finding a new way of sharing our story on a strength-based form of sharing your personal story. It's really beautiful. Yeah, what do participants, here are some of the things that the
Yeah.
participants said. And
Here are the quotes.
yeah,
NAMI peer-to-peer is uplifting, life-saving, and an eye-opening experience that changed how I see myself. And somebody else said, seeing my pure strength and dedication to their recovery was personally meaningful. And another quote was, the biggest thing I gained from this class was to become my own advocate and best friend.
okay, I'm sold. How do I enroll? How does a person enroll to
How
get
do
into
you
this
enroll?
class?
You call 408 453 400? Is that the number?
04, yeah, extension 1. So we call the helpline to get enrolled in this class. So if you or anyone is interested in getting into this class, please call our helpline. And our helpline is open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you can go to our website for more information. I saw someone raise your hands. Can you wait?
That was me actually, Sarah. Sorry.
Okay,
My
okay,
mistake.
thank you,
Sorry.
Romy.
I made a mistake.
Okay, that's okay. So next, we would like to invite two of our class graduates to share their story and tell us how this class helped them. So I welcome Ethan. You can go first, and then Mary, you can finish us off.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming into this webinar. And I'm also just very honored to be here. I was asked personally by Barbara and Sarah, and so I was just going to share a little bit about myself and my background and what led me to NAMI and to end up taking the peer-to-peer class. As Sarah said, my name is Ethan, and to give a bit of background about myself, I have ADHD and depression, and both of which went undiagnosed for far too long. And just, I would like drift through life haunted by this constant feeling that there was something deeply wrong with me inside. And in school, during recess, I would just sit and watch the others laughing and playing and forming all these fond memories of that carefree time. Well, I sat alone and counted the seconds till it was over. And after school, I would just go home and lay on my back and just float in a sea of anxiety and self-loathing. And despite performing exceptionally well academically, studying was torture for me as I spent so much of the time just screaming at my body to actually study as it stayed anchored in place, blankly staring at my textbooks. And I feel like I had nobody in my life to confide about what I was going through, as I didn't really have any concept of mental illness, unless I, for a while, internalized my struggles as personal weakness. And then my older brother, 4 years older than me, began to show signs of mental illness. Well, mine was much more of a quiet and isolated suffering. His was loud and violent, and he would often get into screaming matches with my parents and slam doors and throw things like that and things like that. And for a while, my parents just saw it as acting out and just a phase and a lot of other just very dismissive things. But eventually, however, they came to terms with what my brother was experiencing and sought out therapy and other treatments for him. And these days, he's much more stable and able to live a fairly normal life, which I'm pretty grateful for. But because my symptoms manifested differently, it took me a long time to accept my own reality. But eventually, in my senior year of high school, I took the brave step to ask my parents to help find me some therapy as well. And my therapist, along with the medication my psychiatrist prescribed me, quite literally saved my life. Or rather, it gave me one worth living. I still see the same therapist to this day, and she's been a huge inspiration for me. And along with my care providers, I also found solace in a lot of unconditional love and support in my friends that I made at college. I also found out that I was pansexual, or rather, I finally stopped running away from that reality. And thanks to my friends, I was able to truly bloom and embrace my identity to the fullest. And up until college, I was considered myself an introvert, but as I discovered, I was both in the wrong environment and headspace. And these days, I'm quite extroverted and I love people. All of this has actually inspired me to pursue becoming a counselor later in life. I really want to help others find their feet and learn to cope with their mental illness and live life in spite of it. And to that end, I got an undergraduate degree in psychology and English, and I've also sought out various opportunities to help prepare me for that career. Um, this search is actually what brought me to NAMI. And once I came into the fold, so to speak, I really haven't wanted to leave. But I started by taking the peer-to-peer class that you just learned about. And after college, I had to move back into my parents' home. And truth be told, and I'm still here, and truth be told, it's been a difficult couple of years for a few reasons. And one of them being that all of my college friends are at least a 5 hour drive away. And honestly, there's always been a bit of a distance between my parents and I. There's a lot that I just cannot, or I'm just not ready to tell them about myself, as they're not really ready to hear it. And so I've spent a lot of time masking around them, which has caused me a great deal of pain and isolation these days. You're going to hear a bit about family to family, and that's definitely something that I think they could benefit from if they were ready for it. But all that to say, it's it's something I would recommend. But anyways, peer-to-peer really gave me a sanctuary to escape from all of that, as the environment that the class leaders fostered was one of acceptance and self-love. And along with that, I was really able to just learn a lot from the course that has stuck with me. And one thing that really changed my life was the idea of SMART goals. And one of my symptoms of ADHD is sleep trouble, specifically in that I really struggle to pull myself away from activities I'm immersed in late at night, and I often end up staying into the morning. But using the SMART goal system really helped me break down correcting my sleep schedule into small, manageable behavioral changes. And well, I can't say my sleep schedule is perfect, as well, perfection is a myth in general. It's improved considerably, which in turn has improved many facets of my life. And I definitely have been implementing SMART goals into other behavioral changes for me. And I also learned some seemingly simple but invaluable coping skills for me, such as diaphragmatic breathing, which is sort of focusing on breathing from your stomach and not your chest, as well as guided imagery. And after graduating from peer-to-peer, I became a peer connector, which is a free program for the community to assist those struggling with mental illness to find their feet and listen to their inner teacher. And I also actually help to facilitate the peer-to-peer class now, as I wanted to help play my part in providing that same positive and uplifting space for others that I needed. And I also recently applied to grad school for counseling, and all of these things that I've done at NAMI and just in general have really helped prepare me for that as well. So yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ethan. And then we'll also hear from Mary.
Thank you. Hey everyone, thank you for having me. Thank you for coming to this tonight. It means a lot that everyone's here. So kind of my backstory. I came to NAMI in August of 2018 when I was 34 years old. And I was really not in a good space at that point. For 20 years prior, starting when I was 16, I had been repeatedly misdiagnosed. Doctors in the 90s had a difficult time recognizing female representation of neurodivergence, and then that coupled with childhood trauma, it made just diagnosing me really, really murky, and they didn't have a lot of the information they do nowadays. So anyway, by the time I was in my early 20s, I had accrued, they just kept adding more diagnoses on. And by the time I was in my early 20s, I had accrued a half dozen different diagnoses. I was prescribed 9 different medications a day. It was just a huge ambiguous mess. And that unmanaged, mismedicated mental illness started manifesting itself into self-medicating with addiction, with eating disorders, with multiple suicide attempts. Because of that illness and instability, I lost nearly all of the friendships and family ties and support that I had growing up. And I was considered, by and large, a lost cause by both family and the professional world alike. By this point now, in my mid 30s, I was still a dependent adult. I was still living with my parents. I had no real employment or education or background. Life looked pretty grim, in and out of hospitals routinely, for episodes. It just wasn't looking good. Um, my first experience with NAMI was taking this peer-to-peer class. And man, looking back, I had no clue what a launching pad this class would be for me. Kind of what Sarah was talking about earlier, what education can do for us. Um, in this class, for the first time in my life, this was the first big impact it had on me. I had people who understood me. Maybe not my exact background, maybe not my exact symptoms, but they got what it was like to be different. Everyone, my student peers, the leaders in the class, they all had personal experience with mental illness, and our leaders were in recovery from their mental illness. And man, if that isn't inspiring to be taught from, that's it was huge. I wasn't alone anymore, and I was finally feeling accepted. And I started to really absorb the class material that we went over. I learned about coping skills, like how Ethan mentioned earlier. The diaphragmatic breathing is a big one for me because anxiety is one of my ongoing ones I'm always going after. Another one that has been to this day very helpful is the mammalian diver's response. And essentially, just to break it down, if you are having a panic attack, if you were to jump into a bathtub of ice water, it will biologically tell your brain to calm down and to just literally chill. And while that isn't helpful when I'm doing a presentation like this, to go jump into a pool of ice, I know I can always put my hand under a cold water faucet or an ice pack against my neck, and that'll help soothe my anxiety. And that was, again, one of the fabulous coping skills I learned from this class. Um, I also learned about navigating the medical world. I learned how to advocate for myself. I learned how to make and achieve goals in this class. And those are the SMART goals that Ethan mentioned earlier. And man, were those to this day a life changer. Seeing my progress and development and achieving just the smallest goals. I'm talking about just my goal for the next 2 weeks is to be out of bed before 2 p.m. And slowly but surely, I start making that goal. And okay, well, now what else can I add on to that? I'm going to be out of bed by 2 p.m. and I'm going to take all of my medicine that I'm prescribed. And I start seeing, okay, I'm doing that now. And eventually, you get enough little baby goals accomplished, and you start thinking, man, look at everything I accomplished that I didn't think I could do before. So, what else can I not do? Like, what else in the future can I go after? And it's really incredible and empowering. And it gave me something I hadn't had in years, and that was hope for the future. Because of the confidence and the skills that I learned in this class, and as I transitioned to working for NAMI, I pushed to finally be reassessed in the year 2020 after 21 years of misdiagnosis. And so just about 5 years ago, I was properly diagnosed with high functioning autism, PTSD, and generalized anxiety disorder. And all the other hypothetical ones were just wiped off the books. Uh, as I said, I now work for NAMI. I run several support groups every week, our connection support groups. I teach some of these very peer-to-peer classes, like how Ethan said, it's about making that pain into purpose and giving back to the community that saved you and returning the favor. I do presentations for the public, as well as motivational presentations for patients who are in local behavioral hospitals, And on a personal side note, man, at 41 years old, I've gone back to school and I'm a 4.0 STEM student, transferring to San Jose State University with a dream to get a PhD. When 1 month ago today, I got married to my best friend, and I was able to celebrate with my parents and the family that I never thought I would ever be able to reconnect with, because I wasn't the only one to do the work. They did their own work too. And just, I never thought I would ever get here. And again, like how Sarah was mentioning, like the power of empowering people with education can make so many changes in someone's life. And I know I did the work, but I don't know how I would have gotten here without this peer-to-peer class. So thank you, NAMI.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Mary and Ethan. Thanks for sharing your story. And you all must have, what you heard was the peer-to-peer class not only equipped people, Ethan and Mary, to find their way and to even hope for the future, right? Like have dreams for the future and find a purpose in their pain. But also it helped them to find a way to give back at NAMI. So I wanted to share this next screen. NAMI has, by taking peer-to-peer class, it opens up a lot of opportunities for you to give back. You can be a peer connector where you mentor others and help them in their journey, people who are early in their diagnosis of mental health. There is one-on-one mentoring program, and you can be a peer connector, is a mentor offering peer support. You can be a connection facilitator that Mary is doing, and or in our own voice, speaker, peer-to-peer class leader, helpline assistant. All of these opportunities open up if once you, because you're taking care of yourself, you now can give back to the community. And if for hearing about more about the peer-to-peer class, definitely please do call our helpline at 408-453-0400, extension 1. Our helpline, you can call between Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Or you can simply walk in. You don't need to have an appointment. You can just walk in between 10 a.m. and 2 a.m. Our doors are open. You can just walk in and talk to our helpline staff. And if you happen to leave a voice message after 6 p.m., you'll get a call back within 24 hours. Thank you all for your patience and listening. And if you have any questions for our speakers, you can ask.
Yeah, it can be posted in the Q&A section or in the chat section, and we can come back to that later, Sarah, if that's okay, and have again
Okay.
the presentation
Okay.
now, if that's okay.
That's good. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Sarah.
And now you, Adela, you can speak about family to family class.
Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Before we dive into the PowerPoints in regards to our family to family program, I wanted to talk a little bit about myself and take a moment to introduce myself, actually, and let you know that let me see if we want to share first. Let me see if we can share this. It's taking a little bit longer than normal to come up. I have been having a little bit of technical issues, so let's try this again. Can you see it now?
Yes,
Okay,
but we
that's
can see
great.
your notes too.
Okay, well, that's that's the problem. Okay, so let me see.
If you close the Zoom, like the earlier shared windows, I think it opens up as like an extra window, right? If you close that, then I think you can
Not
start.
sure. Let me see. It's okay. Well,
We'll see your notes. That's okay.
it's okay. My notes are part of it. It's fine. Oh, yeah, no, it's coming up.
It's the portion of the screen.
Yeah, I know it is it. Yeah, but you can here. Let's see. There we go. You had that problem too?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Are you on the?
Yeah, I am. It's right here. Mhm.
While Adela
Okay.
is
Wait,
Adela
I have help.
fixing the tech issue, I just wanted to announce that the NAMI Santa Clara County's FaithNet MH101 is actually on February 20th. Sorry, I had the wrong date earlier. So it's on February 20th at 11:30 a.m. And if you're interested, you can always call our helpline number
Thank you.
and get more information from there
I would have never
about
known.
our MH101.
That's actually screened too, so we gotta.
I don't see the notes anymore.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. So sorry. Thank you, Sarah, for your help. We'll see. So my name is Adela Arce, as can you see me still? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
you're fine.
And like many of you, I found NAMI in a time of deep struggle. I came as a mother who was desperate to help her child. And we are here today to share what we've learned and to let you know that you are not alone. So now that you know a little about me, I want to introduce to you NAMI Family to Family. So this program, we'll go over a few things after the video, but the program is truly life-changing for so many families, just like me. It provides education, support, and hope for those navigating the challenges of a loved one's mental health condition. And this video will give you a great overview of what NAMI Family to Family is all about. So let's take a look. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. You can't hear me?
We can hear you and we can see, at some point we were able to see all your screens. So that's okay.
It's not working. So all afternoon I've been having tech issues. I've been trying to make this work.
Did people hear?
Yeah, she can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me.
we can hear you.
Okay.
Now we can
just
see.
hit play.
So
Just put play. See if they can hear it. Can you hear it?
No. We can only watch the video. No, can't hear at all.
okay, we'll it's okay. Just a moment. We'll stop share and then we'll share again. We hopefully can. We're not having the option to share sound.
No. Okay.
Okay. The computer audio.
Not in the advanced, regular mode it will work.
Oh, the regular mode. Okay. So I'll do the regular mode.
Okay.
Then we don't need to put it on. Okay.
Meanwhile, I'll just do some talking and I hope that everyone is excited about our 50th anniversary celebration and I hope you all can attend it. We're working really hard to create a really engaging program and honor everyone So I hope all of you are available on Thursday,
it's
April
on.
10th. It's going to be at Villaragusa in Campbell. So yeah.
No,
I
it's not.
know somebody
It's
mentioned in
okay. I
the
only
chat
have
that
a
I can
couple.
hear. It's
It's not
actually they're
working.
trying to play a video.
I tried all day.
We can
I
hear
figured it
them,
would
but we're
work
trying to
because
play
it
a
didn't.
video through a computer. That's the volume that's not coming through. It's happened in the past a few times.
That's great.
No, I don't hear the volume.
No worries. We will stop
You can
sharing.
share the YouTube link with everyone later, if that's okay.
Okay. All right. So can you see the slide fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Family to Family is a 9-week program. It's offered in person and online with enough interest for a virtual course. We are hoping to have maybe possibly have one coming up in the summer. It's designed for adult family and friends of loved ones age 18 and over living with mental illness. And it's also offered in Spanish, de familia, and Chinese. And so NAMI Family to Family, it is a designated evidence-based program. This means that research shows that the program is significantly improves the coping and problem-solving abilities of the people closest to a person with a mental health condition. We're gonna probably skip this video because it's not, but basically this video is on our website and you can also just,
Adela, Kathy just messaged me saying that you need to click the button before sharing for sound.
No, we tried that. It didn't
Tried
work.
that, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely a tech issue, and I had it earlier when I was testing it out. But thank you though.
Yeah.
So anyway, the NAMI Family course is more than just a class. It's a community of people who understand, support, and empower each other. So now let's dive a little deeper into what this program offers and how it can make a difference in your life. So why it's unique. NAMI Family to Family not only provides information and strategies for taking care of the person you love, but you also find out that you're not alone. The group setting of NAMI Family to Family provides mutual support and shared positive impact, experience, compassion, and reinforcement from people who understand your situation. Sharing your own experience may help others in your class. So what you'll gain. This course helps participants develop skills to support their loved ones effectively. It also emphasizes the importance of self-care, which is often overlooked when caring for someone with a mental health condition. Through mutual support, participants gain hope and encouragement, realizing that they are not alone on this journey. Many people say that before taking this course, they felt isolated and overwhelmed, but by the end, they felt more empowered and connected. The topics we covered, the course covers a wide range of essential topics to help families navigate mental health challenges. Participants learn how to communicate effectively and solve problems in difficult situations. Self-care is a priority. Families are taught how to manage their own stress while supporting loved ones. The program provides up-to-date information on mental health conditions, and families also learn how to handle crisis and locate local resources that can provide ongoing support. Finally, we address the impact of mental health conditions on the entire family, helping participants build resilience and find solutions that work for them. So I'm very happy to now introduce our speakers for tonight. Sylvia and Patrick Robbins, like many of us, they have walked the challenging path of supporting a loved one with a mental health condition. Today, they will share their personal journey, struggles, the lessons, and the hope they found along the way. Their story is one of resilience, love, and advocacy, and I know it will inspire all of us. Welcome, Sylvia and Patrick.
Hi there. My name is Sylvia Robbins, and I took my first family-to-family class in 2019, I believe it was. Yeah, this was years after our son had his first break at 16, and just the struggle to find, help using our private insurance, trying to find therapists and psychiatrists and just general help for our situation. And at that time, I did feel really all alone and didn't think anyone could really understand what we were going through. And I felt really helpless. And so just through my, research, going online, Googling mental health, I ran across NAMI. And this was almost 3 years after he was diagnosed, and we'd been through a lot of psychiatrists and a lot of hospitalizations. And so the class from NAMI, from NAMI's Family to Family, really helped me to navigate the medical system, which is so different from what I was used to as a registered nurse for 35 years. I was so used to going up to physicians and asking questions and getting help for things that I might need. And so I expected that too. When we were going through our journey with Greg, and finding that it was just the opposite, that they didn't really talk to the family. And it was just mind-blowing to me that it's still that way. It just seems so ridiculous that we have to go through this. And like with any other disease process, the doctors are more than glad to talk to the family members and tell them all about, for example, if they have a heart attack, this is what, this is what we're doing. But I didn't find that in mental health. So I wanted to, find a way to advocate for my son. And just going through the family class gave me the confidence to start my search and start looking for resources that my private insurance wasn't really covering. And it was like, and as soon as our son turned 18, then the communication even was less than it was before, which was like zero. So it was just very frustrating. And but with family to family, I learned the different tools. Our son, is diagnosed bipolar 1 with schizoaffect, and just the simple tool of the 1424 form was really instrumental whenever we came in contact with the police or even medical staff. We learned that just having that form gave us some credit that, look, this is, we are working with our son, and we're a very loving, caring family, and we want to do what we can for him, but we want to help them by giving them information so they can also help him at the time of crisis. And so, it's been like 8 years now that our son's been diagnosed, and he's still, having issues. Over the 8 years, he's been hospitalized like 14 times, been in jail a couple of times, and it was always for, stupid little things that the people would call the police for, like trespassing or bothering customers, at a coffee shop or something like that. And my son is just so, he just wants to share his joy of his music. He's a musician. And so, thank goodness he has his music to help him. 'Cause I think that's our saving grace. But we're still struggling with him, but we feel that we've found help through NAMI. This, just like the 1424 exam paper, it was like we were just finding that our private insurance just wasn't cutting it. And then I've learned when I was working, I actually volunteered on the warm line, they call it now the helpline. Yeah. So that there are resources that we can use, and I definitely took advantage of that. And yeah, kind of lost my thought there, but with that information, I was able to like help other people. We had I started reaching out to other parents that were also having trouble, with their loved ones, and it's been pretty rewarding that we, Pat and I have been able to help this friend with her son. And we knew to call 988 and to get the trust team out, and all these interventions that that's available that people just don't know about. And yeah, so for me, NAMI is like family to me. They've been there for us, and we're very grateful. Yeah, and we continue to do more work. We want to give back to NAMI, and we do by teaching the classes and volunteering whatever we can. And I'm just very grateful for what we've learned from NAMI, and such caring people. I mean, just you can't find nicer people than you can find at NAMI. They're wonderful. And yeah, so pretty much that's my story. Now I think we'll let Pat take over. He's a much better speaker than I am. Thank you.
No, you just jinxed it.
I
Thanks.
just jinxed it. Okay. All right.
Well, my journey begins like when I was 5 years old. I have a memory of visiting my mom when she was in the hospital, and walking in there and seeing her smiling at us. And I didn't know what was going on, but that was one of her breaks when she was about 27, 28, with 3 kids. And so basically, I grew up with somebody with a severe mental illness. A lot of different meds, uncomfortable and awkward situations at times, but she always took care of us. And she lived long enough to see all her grandchildren born, and always made sure there was plenty of food for my brother and I to fight over for seconds. But my father, he had no resources. Family, we had no therapy, just trudged along, and they did the best they could with what they had. Again, that was 60 years ago. And which kinds of bring us up to the moment when our son had his first break in 2016. I thought I knew it all. I mean, at least it wasn't something that I hadn't seen or experienced before. And so I think it did help us that at least I had something to draw from, where Sylvia didn't have anything to draw from. So it was very devastating and reeling, a lot of despair. But we got through that first break, but nothing really prepares you for that. So after 2 years, as Sylvia was saying, is that, I mean, she found them. She took family to family, came home and told me how great it was. And I need to take family to family. And she eventually transitioned into, like she said, working on the help warm line, going through all the training, become a family-to-family instructor. And the extent of my help was during COVID, I was her tech support for the warm line to make sure that she can connect with everyone. But I had a high stress job. My schedule was very unpredictable, a lot of travel, and I just couldn't get the time to be able to participate. But over the years, through NAMI walks, I was introduced to the NAMI community. And in 2022, our family was hit hard. Our son went through 7 hospitalizations, multiple police encounters, and eventually, what Sylvia failed to mention for herself, that when our son had a break, she retired to help take care of him, get him through high school, get him the treatment that he needed.
Mhm.
And in 2022, I had to retire early, basically to help him through. And it took me 2 more years to basically open up and say, okay, I made the call and signed
I
up.
finally got him to do the family-to-family class. Yay! It took forever, but he's there now.
So yeah, but again, like I said, through my male arrogance, I thought I knew it all, but I didn't. And the family to family, it hits you with a fire hose. A lot of good information. I mean, from the first class all the way down to the last. Listening to everyone's stories was very impactful. I mean, throughout every class, everyone was sharing, and you really start to feel, I mean, one of the tenets, I believe, is NAMI's, is that you're not alone. And that just had a profound impact on me. And I found that my story, our story, and insights was really starting to have an impact on many of the people in the class. And halfway through the class, I started in my mind sitting there going, I need to be an instructor for this. But also Sylvia was elbowing me. He's like, you be good at this. You be good at this. It's like, yeah. Just let me go through the class first. So now I'm the resource person in training. And again, we got through our class 3s where everyone shares a story, and it can get very emotional, very impactful. But I could see with everyone that I needed his helping. I mean, a lot of good questions. And again, I mean, they just started. I mean, they're not even halfway through the class. And there's going to be a lot of good information. And our next chapter is overview of mental health conditions, going through all the different mental health conditions, which you think, oh, well, my loved one's diagnosed with this. And it's just like, yeah, but there's so many different aspects, because usually there's multiple things that you're dealing with. When you talk to any person or any family member that has an SMI, and it's just like, they'll list out all the things that they have to deal with.
PTSD, anxiety, those are just a few.
And here comes depression on top of the bipolar, and it's like, but the communication and problem solving was very helpful. Empathy and recovery, collaboration, and I just think it's a fantastic program, and I'm glad that both Sylvia and I can contribute to it. And if anybody gets the idea, if they think that both Sylvia and I should teach a class together, no. We tried to play volleyball together early in our relationship. Ugly.
Not on
Did
the
not
same
work
team.
out, so we don't really want to subject the class to that, but we do love each other.
It's only been 40 years, yes. And we love our family. And one of the things, positive things I want to say about me going through 8 years now with NAMI, is that we have an older daughter who's 30, and she recently married in 2022. And she has seen the work that we've done. And she's, at first she's like, I don't want to have any children. I don't want to pass this disease along. And now she says, you know what, Mom, I've seen how you handled the situation, how well Greg's doing, how well you're doing. And you've been a positive role model. And I do want to have kids, she says. I do want to have children. And before that, she's like, no way, I'm not doing it. I'm not passing along. And she actually enrolled in, I know it was a help group, at the support group up in San Francisco, the Zoom meeting there was siblings. So they had just one class for siblings, and she got a lot out of it. And then she, felt a lot of support, and she was glad that, that she attended it. So she's learning a lot about the mental illness, and also that it's not the end of the world, that you can't, we're going to be okay. And I think that was the most important thing for me, is that it's going to be okay. It's not going to be easy, but there's people there to help. So so that was rewarding to hear my daughter talk about it in such a positive way. And now in the neighborhood that we lived in, they've seen our kids growing up when they're little, from when they were small. And they love Greg. They love our son, and, and they understand what we're going through. And of course, every year with my little pumpkin sale that I do in our driveway every year, the whole neighborhood, in West Oak, they know what we're up to, and they ask questions, and we have all of our brochures out for NAMI, family to family and peer to peer, and people will kind of like quietly come up and they'll like sneak a little brochure, but then they won't talk to you. And then the next year they're back, and they're looking for more information. And so, yeah, so now, people are open up and about talking about mental illness, whether it's depression or OCD or whatever that's bothering them, and the neighborhood sees that. And it's kind of fun that way to open up a whole new world for these people to understand just negative stigma, just get rid of the negative stigma that comes with mental illness. But it's been very rewarding for me.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I want to say thank you, Sylvia and Patrick, for sharing your journey with us today. I know that it takes courage to be vulnerable and share personal experiences, and I know that your words will resonate with so many of us. Thank you for your openness, for your wisdom, and for reminding us that we are not alone in this journey. And I wanted to tell you that today is actually really special for me. Today is my son's birthday, and the reason why I came to NAMI. There was a time when I didn't know if we would make it to this point, when I couldn't see a future for him or for us as a family. This photo was taken on his birthday 6 years ago. And I actually have this photo in my office to remind me every day why I'm here. This photo was taken during the most difficult times of our lives. He had been homeless, living out of his car and isolated from his family. But on this special day, he accepted an invitation to dinner. And my sister took this picture as we walked away, each one going back to our own reality. I remember walking away thinking, in disbelief that this is not the life that I had imagined for him, and not the life that I had imagined for me as a mother. And I was grieving the son that I thought I would have in the future I had envisioned for him. And when I first called NAMI's helpline to inquire about the family to family course, I was completely broken. I was grieving, faithless, and I was convinced that there was no hope left for my son. The voice on the other side of that call was kind and understanding and compassionate. I'll never forget her sweet voice. I was given resources, and through these resources, I was able to connect with a social worker. I was also I was added to the interest list for the family to family class. And while I waited for that class to begin, I also attended support groups. And for the first time, as Patrick and Sylvia said, I didn't feel alone. Taking the classes changed everything. It gave me a strength to keep, to keep going, and the knowledge to navigate a very complex system. I learned to advocate for my son and how to take care of myself in the process. I'm still learning how to take care of myself, but it's a learning process, and it's a journey. So, and this is the reason why I do the work that I do now, because I'm grateful. Because I know that what it feels like to be lost in this journey, and I want other families to know that they're not alone, and there is hope, and there is help. So today, on my son's birthday, I'm sharing my story with you, not just as a mother, but as someone who believes in the power of hope, education, and support. Thank you for being here. I'm going to share a couple more slides on what other people have said. These are real testimonials from past participants. These highlight the transformative impact of NAMI Family to Family program. Many participants expressed that this course gave them hope and reduced feelings of guilt, shame, and isolation. Some say that they wish they had known about this program years earlier, as it would have helped them navigate their loved one's condition sooner. And others who thought they were already informed about mental health conditions discover new resources, strategies, and support networks through this course. These testimonials reinforce the life-changing value of this program. If you or someone you know could benefit from NAMI Family to Family program, I encourage you to sign up for a class. Now, even if you don't need this resource personally, help spread the word. You can contact us for more information about upcoming classes and how to get involved. Sarah has shared the information, but I will share it here again. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you leave with a better understanding of how this program can make a difference. I'll leave this up for a bit. Thank you, Ravina.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Adela. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Pat and Sylvia, Mary, Ethan. Thank you, all of you, for doing the presentation, I think, and sharing your story as well. This is, I hope that, individuals and families can help some use of our programs by enrolling in them. I'm going to open it up to any question and answers here. If anybody wants to ask a question, they can either raise their hand or put it in the chat section or Q&A section. We'll stay maybe a few minutes because I know it's already almost 8:15. So if anyone has any questions, this is the time to ask. But I do see a lot of comments here about thanking for your presentation, and sharing your story and your journey. And I hope that all the panelists are able to see those comments here. I don't see any hands raised, neither do I see any Q&As in the Q&A section, and in the chat section too. But but if you have any questions, you can always reach us. We've shared the number. Get in touch with us, and if you are interested in any of our programs, to call us. And thank you for joining us tonight on a Tuesday night, on a cold Tuesday night. So I'm gonna say our goodbyes and end the meeting now, because I think everyone wants to go back to bed and go back to the families. So thank you, all the presenters. Thank you for presenting tonight. Thanks for your time, and thank you for all those who attended. Have a good night, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you, Ravina.
Bye, Sylvia. Thanks so much.